Hi everyone, so we're going to do a workout with the chair today. I have my watch, so I will keep an eye on the time and try to keep it to 30 minutes. We're going to start off with a short series of stretches for your legs and for your nerves. And then we're going to do leg strengthening exercises and a little yoga flow at the end. So off we go. So you're going to stand facing your chair. You're going to stand quite close to the chair to start with, and we're going to have a nice bend in the knees and really ground down through your feet so they're planted into the ground. And then as you inhale, soften the knees, press through the feet as you reach up, hands cross across the center. Take a breath in at the top, and on your breath out, hands come back through the center as you fold forward towards the chair. Keep the knees bent and step the feet back. You're going to lift your hips high, and then you're going to allow yourself to fold at the hips. So we're in almost a downward dog position. We're going to paddle through the heels a little bit. So lifting one heel up as the other presses down to just start moving and stretching through the calves gently. And your gaze should be looking towards your knees. And then from here, we're going to see if you can plant both feet. It'll be a little bit of a stretch on the calves. And we're going to walk the feet forward. So you're going to go from heel to toe, from heel to toe. Your elbows bend as you come closer to the chair. And then once you're in at the chair, you can keep the knees quite straight if you're able to fold forward. This feels a bit too tight on me, so you're going to soften the knees a little bit. And just let your head rest on the chair for 3 breaths here. Breathing in. Feel your belly expand towards your thighs. And breathing out, allow your body to be a little bit heavier and to soften into the chair and your feet to soften into the floor. Notice if one leg is tighter than the other, or an area of your back is tight. Bring the hands to the chair, press back through the hands, press through the feet. As you reach the hands up overhead, interlace the hands and just stretch up towards the ceiling and over to the right. Think about your thumbs or the hands getting pulled back. Bring yourself back to the center, reach up towards the ceiling and over to the left. And think about the arms getting pulled back gently. If your body doesn't like the side movement, just stay reaching up towards the ceiling and take 2 breaths instead. Bring it back to the center. Fold forward towards the chair. You're going to step the feet back about 4 steps back or 4 feet back. Hips high, you're going to fold at your hips. So your body's almost folded into a V shape. Your gaze is towards your knees. Same thing, paddle through the heels. And then this time we're going to imagine there is a line running from in between our feet all the way towards the chair. And we're going to walk on the line. So you're going to plant your right foot on that line. Your left foot's going to go directly in front of the right. Right foot in front. And then to finish, you're going to cross your left foot over your right. So your legs are crossed. And from here, you're going to fold forward. Again, bend the knees if you need. And you should feel a sharper, more intense stretch in the back leg. So for me, it's the right leg. 2 breaths here, and just notice what that back leg feels like. Get all your weight into the foot, into the right foot or the back foot. Then bring the hands to the chair again, uncross the feet, press up into standing, reach the hands up overhead, just reaching actively with your fingertips, fold forward again, and walk the feet back, a big step back. Fold at the hips so you're in that V shape again, or that downward dog, and then paddle through the heels. Feel the stretch through the calves if there is any for you. And then both feet are flat. Take 2 breaths here, and just think about almost creating some space between the bones in your spine, between the ribs in your rib cage. Every breath in creates a little bit more space. And then you're going to walk forward on that line again. So the line runs from in between your feet straight up to the chair. You're going to step the left foot forward, I think, the right foot forward, the left foot forward, and then you're going to cross your right foot in front. So whichever foot was back last time, It should be the other foot this time. So I'm stretching my left leg, and you should feel that sharper kind of nerve-like stretch through the back of the left leg. Take in 3 breaths here. You can bend the knees a little. You can stack your fists if your head wants to be up a little bit higher. Do whatever makes your body comfortable. And then hands to the chair, uncross, and come back up. And this time just lift your shoulders up towards your ears or roll them back and let the palms turn outwards to open up through the front of the chest. You're going to stand to face side on to your chair. So I've got my left side near the chair. So my left hand is going to go to the chair, and we're going to do a neural stretch for the left upper limb. So you're going to think about standing quite tall, tuck your chin, and tilt your head over to the right. Keep your chin tucked, and then really gently, you're not going to put any force, you're just going to place your right hand on your head. The weight of your arm is enough to add to the stretch. And you should feel a stretch through the back of your neck on the left side. If you don't, just tuck your chin a little bit more. And then when you're here, we're going to increase the neural stretch if you want by just lifting or bending your wrist. So the fingers come off the chair as the wrist bends back, and the fingers go back to the chair. And you're going to go in and out of that 5 more times. When you bend the wrist back, you should feel more of a neural or a nervy stretch, so you might feel a little bit of tingling in the hand or down the arm if you're tight. Cool, and then when you're here, keep the fingertips resting on the chair, keep your chin tucked, and you're going to turn so your chin looks up to the top left corner of the room, and you'll feel the stretch come around to the front of your neck on the left side. Keep the chin tucked, and chin is turning up to the left. And add the hand for a little bit of extra pressure if you want to. And then bring your head, turn it back to neutral, bring it back upright, and just swap to do the other side. So right fingertips on the chair. We're going to tilt your head over to the left. Tuck your chin. And you're just looking straight ahead. You should start to feel the stretch through the back of the neck on the right side. So this area here. Add your hand for a little bit of overpressure if you want to. Remember, you're never pulling, you're just resting the weight of your hand there. And then moving the wrist to get a little bit more of a nerve mobility through the right arm. So bending the wrist back, fingertips pull towards your body, fingertips relax back onto the chair. I'm going for 5 of those, keeping the chin tucked. And then resting the fingers on the chair and changing the stretch. So keep the chin tucked, turn the chin to the top right corner of the room. Think about your right shoulder resting away from your ear or dropping down towards the floor. And you should feel a stretch through the front of your neck on the right side. You can add the nervy stretch if you want here. These are usually quite tight on people, so the nervy stretch can be a little bit much in this one. Cool, and then bring your head back to center, ease it out of the stretch gently, and give your hands a shake. Cool, so we're going to get straight into your leg exercises. So have a seat on your chair. You can have it up against something steady like a wall if you prefer, if you're a little bit wary of it. You're going to bring your feet together, you're going to bring your thighs together for this one. We're going to do a chair pose with holds. So your arms are back by your side, you're going to lean your body weight forward and come up into standing. Then you're going to fold at the hips, your bum goes back towards the chair, and you're just hovering over the chair, and you're going to hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to the chair and stand up again. Press through the feet to stand. Hold. You can bring your hands to your hips if you prefer. You can have your hands on your belly to focus on your breathing if you want as well. Now we're lowering down to the chair and coming straight back up again. And back down. We're going to do 6 of these. This is the 3rd one. So go as low as you can, and we're holding for 5. You should feel the muscles at the front of your thigh working. 2, 1. Back down. Last 3. Up you go, hips back, holding here. Think about weight through the front of your feet a little bit more. So transfer the weight to that area where your toes meet your foot. So the ball of your foot. Lower a little bit more if you can. And back down. Last two. Again, you can have the hands on the belly, reaching in front of you, or you can reach them overhead for a little bit more of a challenge. As you do that, keep your ribs hugging in. And back down. And you're on your last one. We're going to hold it for 15 seconds. So up you go. Sit down as low as you comfortably can and pick the position of your hands. I got 10 seconds left. Sink a little lower if you can. Keep pressing through the balls of your feet, and you should feel these muscles work at the front of your leg. Last 5, 4, keep breathing, 3, 2, 1, and relax it down. Give your feet a little bit of a shake out. And next you're going to stand. You're going to come back up into your chair pose for one last little challenge in this position. So sit the butt back, bring your hands to your hips, and from here you can either just hold, or an option is you're going to push through the balls of your feet to lift up onto your tippy toes and then lower back down. If your balance is an issue, having another chair by your side that you can just rest your hand on will help. And we're going to aim for 6 of these, guys. Last 3. Last 2, you should feel these muscles at the front of the thigh working quite hard. And last 1, or maybe an extra one because I lost count. Cool, and relax it back down. Give the feet a little kick on the ground, or a little shake out. And then we're going to move to focus on the muscles at the back of our hip and leg a little bit more. So your feet are going to be as wide as your yoga mat if you're using one. Your knees are pointed out and your toes are pointing out. You're going to have your hands in front of your chest. You're going to come up into standing. We're going to go down into what we call a sumo squat. Our bum is just going to hover over the chair. Think about your thighs, thinking about being pulled out to the side. And you should feel the muscles in the back of your butt working. Pressure is mostly in your heels for this one. You're going to lower down to the chair, go all the way back up, hold it halfway for 5. 4, pressing through the heels, thighs pulled out, last 2. And 1, just graze the bum off the chair and then go back up, down to halfway and hold for 5. 4, keep the thighs pulling out, keep your upper body quite upright if you can. Graze the butt off the chair, up you go again, down to halfway and hold. Think about most of the weight in your heels. Have your toes quite relaxed though, so they're not lifting up all the time. Graze the butt off the chair and up you go again. We've got about 5 more to go of these, guys. You can have your hands in front of you to help you balance. Pushing down through your outer heel, thighs getting pulled out to activate the muscles at the back of the butt. Last 4. Hold. Think about your weight getting pulled back. Imagine a strap around your hips pulling you back towards the chair. Thighs getting pulled out to the side, turning out. And down. Last 3. Sink a little lower if you can for your hold. Last 2. Hands can be out in front if you want, or they can be on the belly and you can focus on that diaphragm working. And last 1. Go down to halfway and hold. You're going to bring your hands to your hips. This one we're going to be in a little bit longer. You're going to shift your weight into the right leg. Right leg's taking most of your weight. And you're going to lift the left heel. You should feel that right bum cheek working. Left heel goes down. Shift your weight to the left. Lift the right heel. You should feel the left butt cheek working. If you don't, press a little bit more into the left heel. I'm saying that because I don't feel mine. I just feel my quad. And then back down. Shift your weight to the right. Thighs pulled out. You're pressing into the right heel and then lift the left leg. You should feel the butt. Shift across to the left. Lift the right heel. See if you can get that left butt cheek to start working. So maybe give it a few seconds for it to kind of warm up and activate. Back down. To the right, lift the left heel. We just have 2 more rounds after this one. To the left. Last 2 rounds. Weight on the right, lift the left heel. Weight on the left, lift the right heel. Your last round, weight on the right, lift the left heel. Think about the right thigh getting pulled, turned out to the side, pushed down through the right heel. Lower the heel, shift your weight to the left for the last time, pull the thigh out to the side, lift the right heel. Keep your body upright if you can, so more weight goes down through that heel, through the back of the foot. Cool, and take a break. Give your legs a shake out again. Last leg exercise. Second last one is heel raises. So you're gonna move your chair in front of you a little bit, if that's all right. 2 options here if you're not used to doing heel raises. They do isolate your calf muscles and they can work them quite hard. So you can do a double leg one. You're gonna be doing 2 sets of 10. You're gonna have a soft bend in your knees and lift up onto your tippy toes. As you do that, you're not tipping forward towards the chair. You're thinking about pushing down through your feet so you're powered straight up to the ceiling. If they're too easy for you, single leg. Keep a little bit of a bend in your knee, push down through that foot to power you up. If that's too easy for you, you can do a single leg and hold a weight of some kind, like a shopping bag or something, in the opposite hand. Cool, so let's go for 10. So whether you're double or single, it's fine. Off you go. Drive down through the ball of the foot, power up towards the ceiling, and you've got 8 more left. If you started earlier, you can do a few extra. I want you to be able to feel your calf muscle working. If you're feeling any pain through your knee or the base of your foot, swap to double leg if you're doing single leg. I may have lost count, so we're going to go for 4 more on this foot or this round. Things to watch out for is that your hip comes forward or your knee turns in. So think about that kneecap looking straight ahead towards your chair the whole time. Last one. Swap to the other leg. So all your weight's on the right leg now if you're doing single leg. You're standing tall, a bit of a bend in the knee, which is going to stay there. Push down through the ball of the foot. Heel lifts, heel lowers. So the only thing that's moving in this is your ankle joint. Make sure you're not using your back, so you stay nice and tall, you're not collapsing to one side. And you got 5 more left. Again, you can modify, make it a little bit easier by pushing down through your hands. So if you're not sure about the single leg, you can push down through your hands to help it. Last 2. And last one. Cool, give it a shake out. If you want to do another 2 sets of those, you can pause the video and do it now if you feel like your calves are a weak spot. Otherwise, grab another chair. The next exercise is the last one we're going to do, and we're going to do 2 sets of it on the video. So we're going to do a single leg sit to stand. So I'm going to start off with my left leg. So I'm going to have a chair to my right. And you may or may not need the chair on your right. Bring your bum forward in the chair a little. Make sure your heel is under your knee, or it can be back a little bit further. You're going to push down through this foot as you stand up tall. If you need a little bit of help from the chair beside you, when you push through the left leg, push through your right hand as well. Otherwise, you can have both hands in front of you, and it is a lot harder. We're going for 8 on each leg, so I think I've done 4. We're going to do 4 more. So pick which option works best for you. If you are lucky and have a TRX at home, you can have the straps in front of you and pull up. Last one. And then swap to the other leg. So if you're using the chair, you can swap it to the other side if you want. We're going to go for the right leg. You're driving the foot down into the ground and using your leg muscles to power you up. So think about the hip, the butt muscles pushing your hips forward as you go up, and the hip folding, controlling you down. You should feel your bum, your quads, and maybe a little bit of your calf on this. It uses all the muscles in your leg. If you want some feedback about what's happening around your pelvis, pop your hands on your hips. Ideally, you want your pelvis to stay facing forward so it's not twisting left or right. Last 2, I think. Last 1. Cool, have a sit in the chair, give your feet a little tap out, and just do 3 shoulder rolls. Lifting up, rolling back, relaxing down. And then chin to your chest, let your ear roll over to your left shoulder, chin to the chest, ear rolls over to the right shoulder. There's 2 more of those. So a mini break. And we got about 10 minutes left in this video, which will be more of a yoga flow at the end. Onto the left leg again, 1 more set of 8. Use the hand on the chair if you need it. Pushing up, I needed it a little, and back down. So you may need the chair for support with one leg and not the other, and that's fine. We're halfway there, so 4 more on this leg. Drive down through the foot, the outer heel, the ball of the foot. Pushing through your foot will help activate the right muscles. So your focus is on pushing through the foot, not squeezing your tummy or bracing. Movements coming from the hip and the knee. Last 1. And then swap to the right leg, and you're going for 8. Again, if you're real wobbly and you have a bit of a sore knee or an ankle, use the chair to help with your stability to start with. Ideally, the chair is on the opposite side to the leg you're working. Last 4. Try and control your lower down. Don't plonk down like I just did on that last one. Last 2. You can also use your arms to help. So as you push up, push the arms back. Last 1. Cool. Give the feet a little shake out. Pop your right foot onto your left thigh. And just allow yourself to lean forward. So it's just stretching out the muscles at the back of the right hip. And just take 3 breaths here. And then pop the right foot down. Left foot goes on your right thigh. Have a little lean forward from your hips and allow yourself to relax into a folded forward position. Feel the stretch in the back of your left hip. And just take 3 breaths here. If this is uncomfortable for a hip or a knee, you can just cross the leg and fold forward. If you have a tendon issue on the outer hip, don't do this stretch, okay? You can just sit and place your hands on your belly and focus on relaxed belly breathing. Cool, coming back up. And the last part of this is a little bit of a yoga flow with the chair. So we're going to do a little sequence of movements, one after another. You're going to start off with the chair on the right side of your mat. Okay. Some of you may not need the chair. The chair is really handy if you're not as mobile because it helps you get up and down throughout the flow. So we're going to start standing beside the chair. It's on our right side. Soft bend in the knees. You're going to press through the feet and inhale as you reach up. And as you exhale, fold forward towards the ground. Bend the knees as much as you need. Inhale to lift the head and chest. Place your right hand on the chair. Your right foot goes back behind you and you come into a low lunge position. Inhale, reach the right hand up and back like the thumb's getting pulled back. You'll feel a stretch through the front of the right hip, hopefully. And then on your breath out, bring both hands down, left leg back, you're in all fours. A breath in, you lift your head and your tail. And a breath out, you'll tuck in your tail and round your head down. 1 more of those with the pace of your breath. Come back to tabletop, step the hands forward. Bring the hips forward so you're in a low plank. And keep your elbows tucked in by your side as you lower down slowly. A breath in, lift your head and chest gently. And a breath out presses you back into child's pose. So your bum goes towards your heels, or you can just come back onto all fours. A breath in takes the left foot forward again. Right hand goes to the chair, and your next breath in takes the right hand up. Right hand goes back to the chair, tuck the toes underneath on the back foot, and from here you're going to stand back up. And we're going to repeat that 2 more times. You're going to inhale to reach the hands up. Use your breath out at your own pace to fold forward. A breath in will take you into a halfway lift, and a breath out will allow you to fold back down. Place the right hand on the chair, the right foot goes back. You're in a low lunge. On your next breath in, take the right hand up. You're here for 2 breaths, so come into it at your own pace. Your next breath out will bring both hands to the ground, and you'll come to all fours position. When you breathe in, lift the head and the chest, and your breath out will get you to tuck in your tail and chest. 1 more round of that with the pace of your breath. Then we'll walk the hands forward slightly. Press the hips forward so our body's in a plank position. You can have the feet up or down. Stay in here for 2 breaths and just feeling our core turn on, so the tummy muscles engage. And then your breath out will take you down. So tuck the elbows in close to the side as you lower down. A breath in, you lift your head and chest. On your next breath out, press through the hands. You either come back to all fours and stay there. You can press all the way back to a child's pose if that's available for you. And 3 breaths here. Big deep breath in. And your breath out, letting everything relax. Taking the left leg forward, right hand to the chair, tuck the toes of the back foot underneath and press up through your legs. Use the strength of your legs to come back up and come forward into standing. 1 more round of the same. Inhale to reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Soften the knees. Come into a half lift. Place your right hand on the chair, right foot goes back. Use a breath in to reach the right hand up and back. On a breath out, come into all fours. Use a breath in to lift the head and the tail. And use a breath out to round through the spine. 1 more of that with the pace of your breath, so a cat-cow. Then walking the hands forward slightly, bring the hips forward into your plank. And on your next breath out, elbows hugging close to your side as you lower yourself to the ground, and a breath in lifts your head and chest. A breath out, you're going to press through the hands and press yourself back into all fours or a child's pose. 2 breaths here. And then coming up, the left foot comes forward again. Right hand to the chair, tuck the toes of the back foot underneath. And you can use the chair as much as you need it. Come back up into standing and swap the chair to the other side. So the chair is going to be on your left side this time. I'm just going to turn around. And we're just going to do 3 rounds of the exact same thing on the other side. So you're going to inhale as you reach the arms up. Exhale to fold forward. I'm only going to cue this one once and then I will reduce the cues. Lift your head and chest. Place the left hand on the chair and the left foot goes back. Reach the left hand back. Bringing the hands forward onto all fours. And using your breath to move in and out of your cat-cow pose. Bringing the hands forward into your plank, using your breath as you lower down and to lift you back up when you lift your head and chest. Press through the hands, come back into all fours or your child's pose. 3 breaths here. Coming forward, taking the left hand to the chair, right hand forward. Tuck your toes underneath. Using the hands as much as you need, come up into standing. And off we go again. Use your breath at your own pace. I'm just going to cue the movement. Reaching arms overhead. Folding all the way forward. Lifting to halfway. Folding all the way forward. Left hand to the chair, left foot back. Reaching the left hand up and back. Bringing the hands to the ground, going into all fours. And using your breath to move in and out of cat-cow. Walking the hands forward and bringing the hips forward into a plank position. Lowering to the ground and lifting the head and chest. Pressing through the hands to press back towards the heels or just all fours. 2 breaths in child's pose or just on all fours. And then coming back up, left hand to the chair, right hand or right foot forward, tuck the toes underneath. Use the strength in your legs to come up if you can, and going through her again. Last time. Reaching up, folding forward. A halfway lift. Left hand to the chair, left foot back. Inhale, reach the left hand up. In your own time, coming into all fours and going through 2 or 3 rounds of cat-cow with the pace of your breath. Walking the hands forward, hips forward into a plank. Allow your core to turn on. Some may take a little longer than the others. Hug your elbows in and lower yourself towards the floor. Breath in takes your head and chest up. And then press back through the hands to come back either into all fours or all the way back to child's pose. 3 breaths here in child's pose. Then coming back to all fours, left hand to the chair, right foot forward. Tuck the toes underneath. Press through the feet, come up into standing. One last, reach up. Reaching the hands up, gazing up towards the ceiling. Bringing the hands back across your chest as you nod your chin to your chest and roll forward. And this time we're going to stay in the forward fold. If it's comfortable, a nice soft bend in the knees. And you can take a hold of the elbows for your last pose. Just notice if there's any difference between the start of the practice and the end, especially in relation to tightness through the backs of the legs. Let the hands dangle. Really focus on grounding down through your feet and press through those feet. As you start to round back up, your hands can press up to your thighs if you need. When you come back up, keep the hands relaxed and down. Lift the shoulders up towards your ears and then let them drop and let the palms turn out. And then let it go. And you're all done.